All right, welcome back. Joining us virtually this afternoon, we have a local attorney, Alex Stanford. Good afternoon, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Taylor. Always fun.
Absolutely. It's great to have you. So we are talking about the two orders from the Louisiana Supreme Court and the governor's emergency declaration. So what do those kind of mean for us here in Louisiana when it comes to the legal system?
Okay, these are good questions. I'm going to start with the governor's declaration. So he issued a declaration of a state of emergency, which is really just 2 pages. It's a couple of paragraphs wherein he just says, okay, because of the hurricane, we are now in a state of emergency. So I am now authorized to take extra powers to deal with emergencies as they arise. So it's just basically saying we're in this new category of readiness so that he has these extra abilities to deal with issues as they arise. Okay. And the biggest one that he mentions in his order is the price fixing gouging. You got people trying to do a mass evac.
Yeah, and now the two orders, we were talking a little bit about them during the break. Those came down from the Supreme Court for Louisiana.
Yes. The first one came down, and it is an emergency suspension of prescription, preemption, and abandonment. So those are concepts that most people don't really deal with, so I'll be happy to break those down for everybody. So when you had the original COVID lockdown and the declaration and the emergency measures by the governor's office, he did a suspension of all time delays. That is extremely, extremely broad, because that could be, you know, deadlines to answer a petition or file a motion or submit a memorandum. All those involved, I mean, even divorces got messed up because your 365-day waiting period got suspended. What the Supreme Court did with this particular measure is just suspend prescription, preemption, and abandonment. So prescription involves the time that you have to file your lawsuit on a given cause of action. And depending on what that cause of action would be, it could be anywhere from like a year to 3 years to 10 years, depending on what it is. Then you have preemption, which was a very, very particular type of time delay, which deals with statutorily authorized causes of action, like malpractice actions against attorneys, which you never want to file. Just kidding. Or doctors or accountants. Okay, preemption is a very special type of category that doesn't get extended. It's a statutory right, and when it's over, it's over. So, like for medical malpractice, after 3 years, your claim is preempted. You can't raise it. You can't ever suspend it or interrupt it. So the Supreme Court is doing something very, very special by saying we're even interrupting and suspending a right that normally doesn't get that ability. And then abandonment is once you're in litigation, if you don't take action to move it forward either through discovery or some process, after 3 years, it can be just dismissed with prejudice. Okay. And so what they're saying is during this time period, we're putting a hold on the delays for filing your lawsuits, whether it's prescriptive or preemptive, and for abandonment, but it's only for 30 days. And the second order was an extension through the end of September. Okay. And so that's what we're dealing with.
And then really quick before we go, I know all of the courts in Lake Charles are probably dealing with a lot right now. Some of them might not even be open. And so is this going to create like a huge backlog for whenever they do reopen?
Well, in a word, yes. That's exactly what's going to happen. Just like we've had in Acadiana, you know, once they reopen the courts and let people start, you know, having hearings and stuff, it's been a real mess trying to go this stuff. I can imagine in Lake Charles with just the damage to the property as well as the concerns with the citizenry. It's going to be pretty bad. But I don't know how long their courthouse is going to be completely messed up. I've seen photos of the different buildings, but I don't know how unscathed or damaged the courthouse was. So, but yes, it's going to cause some traffic in court for sure.
Definitely a long road to recovery, and hopefully the courts won't be too backed up when they reopen. Alex, thank you for joining us this afternoon. If you guys missed something or want to learn more, we're going to post this interview on our website, klaf.com. Before we go to break, let's send it on over to Adam.
Well, Taylor, coming up.